Well, it seems like Elon Musk is sad. It turns out that being a maniacal white nationalist doesn't gain you any friends. And now, folks, he thinks that everyone is trying to kill him, and we should feel bad about it. Welcome to the Danielle Moodie Show, Damnation. Let's get into it. Friends, before we get into today's conversation on the Danielle Moodie Show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and share this video right now as we dive into today's fuckery. Also, thank you so much for all of the well wishes. I am back and feeling very well rested and appreciate all of you. Oh, Lord, he's sad, y'all. He's sad. So evidently, because Elon Musk is feeling a type of way, we should all do something about it. You see, for whatever reason, Musk thought that by being a white nationalist and going around proselytizing segregation and his feelings around how inept Americans are and how we're going to need to go through some pain and firing tens of thousands of workers and cutting off Social Security and Medicaid. I guess he thought that that was going to get him friends. I think that Elon Musk and Donald Trump have been getting high on their own supply. Like, we know that Elon Musk actually gets high on a regular basis and talks about it. And evidently, when a white man does it, it's totally fine and like cutting edge. But if you're like an addict and happen to be a person of color and, poor, then you belong in prison, not on the cover of Forbes. That's an aside. Nonetheless, so here we have it. He's now going around town, y'all, talking about how they basically want to kill me. GOP efforts to turn Musk into a MAGA martyr are backfiring. Even conservatives can't muster pity for a whining billionaire coming for Granny's Social Security. This is the type of thing that is cracking me up right now. Why did you think that you would be popular? And it's because, folks, they've created this MAGA ecosystem that has them truly believe that there are more people jumping up and down and wanting to have their boobs and arms signed by Donald Trump and Elon Musk than that actually exist. That when they step outside of the MAGA bubble that they have created and they're hit with reality, guess what? You're not as popular as you think that you are. But somehow now it is the responsibility of all of MAGA, of all the conservatives, to go around and towing the line for one Elon Musk. I'm going to read you this, and I want you to pay attention to the highlighted area because, oh my God, it's so good. No one has yearned to call themselves a victim of, quote, cancel culture more than Elon Musk. In one sense, he's succeeded beyond his wildest dreams, becoming a favorite villain of the left, the target of nonstop scorn and mockery. But he keeps failing at the second, equally crucial aspect of becoming an icon for self-pitying fascists, selling himself as a MAGA martyr. Now, here's the good part. Even by the low standards of people who love Donald Trump, Musk is too charmless, self-pitying, and privileged to make a compelling character in the endlessly idiotic drama of right-wing outrage at liberals who commit the high crime of not liking him. Lord, they could not have written that better, because evidently, for those of us who have chosen, right, to not fawn at the feet of Elon Musk, for those that have participated in the sellbacks of their Teslas, and for the downturn of his stock, that evidently, as Donald Trump proclaimed last week, boycotting is illegal. It's not. You actually don't get to tell people how they should spend what little money they have. But folks, that has not stopped the recent, right, uh press junket of MAGA officials going on television to tell people to buy $100,000 piece of junk. So here is a picture of a gold version of this garbage can, okay? Because it didn't stand out enough in its disgusting shape and size. But no, let's make it gold. Breaking news. This is what happened today. Tesla recalls nearly all Cybertrucks day after Trump official begs people to buy stock. The Trump administration is desperately trying and failing to pump up Elon Musk's private business holdings, which I don't understand, because he's the biggest welfare queen that exists inside of America right now. And yes, that immigrant did steal your fucking job, and his name is Elon Musk, right? Not only has he gone in and is ensuring that your mother and father and grandparents, aunts and uncles will not be receiving their Social Security check or Medicaid, right? And not only is he also, I don't know, in charge of seizing nonprofit organizations, which we'll get to in a bit. Not only has he expanded his contracts inside of the United States with Starlink and other things. Why is he doing all of this? Because his private business is tanking. Why is his private business tanking? Because he's an asshole. And it goes to show you that, guess what, people don't want in their CEOs? Either stay quiet behind the scenes, right? Your job is to bring in money, put out product, and guess what? Shut the fuck up. Elon Musk is doing none of those things. Not only is he still running Tesla as its CEO, but he's taking on a prime role in an unelected position as a blustering bureaucrat to go around and tell people that they need to do with less while he steals our tax dollars. So you would think then, what would the job of the Commerce Secretary of the United States be in this moment, as we are basically broaching a recession that is, I don't know, being made up, being concocted by the MAGA administration, so that why? The oligarchs can come in, they can buy up all of these shit for cheap, right? And then own us more so than they already do. Because guess what? When you don't have your 401k or your pension to fall back on, you're going to have to be ushered back into the capitalistic grinding machine that will take what little lifeblood you have left. That's the goal, folks. Newsflash. But here's what the Commerce Secretary of the United States, but after this, you will think that he is just a PR spokesperson for Tesla. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, for example, appeared on Fox News Wednesday night and urged viewers to purchase Tesla's struggling stock. Quote, "I think if you want to learn something on this show tonight, buy Tesla," he said. Quote, "It's unbelievable that this guy's stock is this cheap. It'll never be this cheap again. When people understand the things he's building, the robots he's building, the technologies he's building, people are going to be dreaming of today and thinking, gosh, I should have bought Elon Musk stock." Funny, because his own shareholders are calling for him to step down as CEO. Funny, because if something is so good, guess what? It sells its fucking self. And you don't need to create an infomercial or turn the Commerce Secretary of these United States into some type of used car salesman. The fact of the matter is that what goes down always does come back up. I'm not going to say that Elon Musk's stocks are going to stay in the dirt forever. No, they will do whatever they normally do, which is a entire rinse and repeat. They'll replace the CEO, they'll come out with new branding, they'll pick somebody who is more palpable, and then they'll roll out Tesla again and people will buy it. And guess what? The funny thing is that Elon Musk still will have a 60% majority holdings of his money in that company. So if you have actual morals and you believe that you don't want to be feeding this man more of your money and fame than he deserves, then guess what? You still aren't going to fucking buy Tesla, regardless of who the CEO is, because Elon Musk has tainted that brand so goddamn much, he might as well have made Hitler his mascot. I mean, but let's go on, because that's not the only thing that Elon Musk has been doing, right? Not only has he been running his businesses into the ground, not only has he been, ensuring that America goes bankrupt, not only has he been firing people and closing down agencies, and people are saying, the judges, and I say the people because who cares about judges these days? Not this administration. Judges come out and say, oh, Elon Musk is acting as some type of elected official that he is not, and what he's been doing is unconstitutional. Well, thank you, federal judge, but if only we had a president or an administration that gave a shit about the Constitution or the rule of law, then your judgment would actually matter. But in this here new America, the new wildly abnormal times that we are living in, your judgment doesn't actually fucking matter. So, what is Elon Musk Doge doing now? Folks, hold on to your fucking hats. Elon Musk Doge uses police to seize independent nonprofit. That's right. You read the word independent and nonprofit. The U.S. Institute of Peace is not a federal agency or located in a federal building. That didn't stop Doge from taking over. I want you all to pay attention to this. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency staffers use police and private security to forcefully take over the U.S. Institute of Peace on Monday. The USIP, an independent nonprofit founded by Congress, had its president, Greg Moose, and its board fired last week by the Trump administration. The Associated Press reported that Doge workers on Monday had law enforcement escort them into USIP, which is not located in a federal building, after previously being denied access. Call me crazy. I am not an attorney, okay? I don't even play one on live stream. If I don't have authority to enter a building and I bring my own group of thugs to forcefully enter into that building, and I tell everybody that has rightful access in that building to exit that building, never to return, what do you call that? A break-in? A robbery? Right? A hostile takeover? What do you, a fucking coup? What do you call it? They have no authority here. The USIP was created by Congress, but it is an independent nonprofit. It is a gorgeous building, right? Right off of Constitution Avenue in Washington, D.C. And they just went in, kick in the door, wave in the 4-4, little hip hop reference for you, and fucking rolled up in there. So, folks, I say this because what's to stop Doge from rolling up inside of any fucking place and doing the same thing that they have no authority to do? You're bringing in private police, which are not actual police. They're just thugs in the same uniform and given a badge. So explain to me that when actual members of Congress several weeks back wanted entry into the Department of Treasury, which, by the way, is under congressional purview, and they were told no, where the fuck was their private police? Why the fuck didn't they just barrel into the place and say, actually, I am an elected official, so let me the fuck in? Do you understand that our current elected officials are like bringing memos to a fucking gunfight? Like this is a hostile takeover. This is fascism. Rolling up into a place that you have no authority over, firing everybody and locking the doors behind them. It is called the U.S. Institute of Peace. What the fuck you think that they're doing over there? Y'all, so this is what was said. Quote, Doge just came into the building. They're inside the building. They're bringing the FBI and brought a bunch of DC police. A USIP lawyer, Sophia Lynn, told the New York Times as she and other staff members were forced out of the building. Quote, what happened here today is an illegal takeover by elements of the executive branch of a private nonprofit. It was very clear that there was a desire on the part of the administration to dismantle a lot of what we call foreign assistance. We are a part of that family. Folks, this is fascism. It's not coming. We haven't backslid. We are here. This shit is going to get worse. And what scares me, as it should scare all of you, is that soon we won't hear about any of this. Because their next targets, after they shut down all the nonprofits, after they gut philanthropy, after they gut our secondary institutions, after they throw out all of the immigrants, who do you think that they're coming for next? What do you think that they're coming for next? They're going to come for the media. So we don't know what's coming and when, and we don't know who to trust. This is why I say, y'all need to build up your community in real life relationships and protections now, because soon you are not going to be able to trust what you see and what you hear, because they are going to take over everything. And those that continue to speak out will be labeled as enemies of the state, will be labeled as terrorists, and they will be carted off, never to be heard from again. Folks, when I tell you that this shit is getting scary, when I say that these things are happening, and I want to be wrong. Do you understand that? It is not my desire to sit here and say that these for-profit prisons and camps that they are going to be building, that they already are building and filling with innocent people, that when those folks are deported and put on those planes, but those buildings need to continue to be full, who you think they're putting in them? We are not in a good place. And so when I continue to say that folks need to organize locally, one of the things that I'm looking into, just a little side note, satellite phones. They're very expensive, but they come in packs. So you can get one set of 4 for one household, right? And then for your extended family, tell them to get a set. These are things that I am thinking about, because if grids are shut down, if we have no ability to communicate, if they take over the internet, you have no ability to look. Folks, you have to start thinking in these ways, and they scare me. I begin to think, and then I pull back, because my brain cannot take in all of the darkness. But I'm offering this up as a way that I am beginning to think, that I want you all to think as well. How are we in this time going to keep ourselves connected with those that we love and try as best as we can to continue organizing, but do so in real life? Because the modes that we've become dependent on are no longer going to be operational moving forward. So, as I say these things to you, these are things that I am in conversation with my own family and friends about. And as I take these actions, I am going to tell you, guess what I just got? Not because I'm getting anybody's piece or commission, but because I actually want people to be safe. And I'll tell you this, Jules, because you put it up, satellite phones. So, bet I was at one of my friends' homes and we're kicking in, and they pulled out this little satellite phone that allows them, in case of an emergency, in case of breakdown, to be able to text, at the very least, their friends and family. So it brought me back to, and these are people that have all experienced coups in different countries, right? So they've been knowing. So I thought about this real life example for us who are still in this place of it's not happening, but we know that it is happening, but it's too much for us to take on. So here's the thing. Remember 9/11? Okay. 9/11, both of my parents were working in Manhattan. And for hours, I could not reach them. I kept trying to call, and you got that bam, 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 because everybody was trying to call their loved ones. The system, the satellites, right? Or whatever, the networks were jammed. If we had had a satellite type of phone, I would have been able to get through. That's just a real life thing that we know happened here. There have been blackouts before in major cities. I don't know if they use Starlink. I have no idea. What I'm saying is research, folks. I am not a tech expert, but I'm saying Google satellite phones. See what you come up with. See where they are. See what they are able to do. I get information and I put it out. I'm not claiming to be an expert or a tech expert. I am saying go find for yourself. If it fits with what you need, rock with it. At least you have some information. That's all I'm doing. Because I don't know. The question with regard to Starlink, I have no idea. But what I will say is exactly, Susan, research, folks, and then share. But like, what are the ways that we can communicate if our cell phones were to go down? Right? If you go on and you turn on your internet, the internet is down. What are we doing? Whether it is purposefully done or not, we have to start thinking, what are our other modes of communication? How are we connecting with those that we love? How are we ensuring our own safety? There are people that I know who have started, again, to create go bags. I don't really know what to put in a go bag, but I do know that I've started to Google it. I know that on YouTube here, there are plenty of people that have channels that are all about preparing for X, Y, and Z, right? And they tell you some of the things. So, am I an expert in that? No, but I'm saying, something to think about. Maybe I Google it. Maybe I see if I can start putting some things together. Because, folks, this shit is getting very real. And we can't deny the realness that is coming. Because to not be prepared is to be caught off guard. And every single headline, what I'm here to do is help connect the dots. You all figure out what you need to do with that information. That was my little PSA. Moving on. So, speaking of places to go, or places that are putting up a warning about where not to go, Britain, folks, issues travel warning for the United States. Yes, you heard that correctly. Britain is like, yeah, maybe don't go there. Now, I will stress that they say that they're issuing travel warnings. It is not a travel advisory yet, but it is a warning. The United Kingdom has updated its travel advice for British citizens planning to visit the United States, warning of potential arrest or detention if travelers fail to comply with entry requirements. It comes amid Donald Trump's large-scale crackdown on illegal immigration. Quote, you should comply with all entry, visa, and other conditions of entry. The authorities in the U.S. set and enforce entry rules strictly. You may be liable to arrest or detention if you break the rules, the guidance reads. Why are they doing this? Oh, I don't know. Because the United States has started to detain and disappear people, whether or not they are showing their visas, their legal residence status, or not. They are being detained at the border, thrown in detention for weeks or months, pushed through a system, all because they tried to enter the United States like they've done so many times before. They think to themselves, well, I'm not on anybody's terror list. I'm not, that the from the shithole country, bop, 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 bop. Well, guess what? They coming for white immigrants too. You think it stops there? Guess who else issued a travel advisory? Boom, boom, Germany. Germany updates U.S. travel advice after citizens detained. The Foreign Office stressed that the new advisory does not constitute a travel warning. I would put in parentheses, yet. It comes after U.S. immigration authorities detained multiple German nationals upon arrival. Here we go. 3 German nationals were detained while trying to enter the U.S. A spokesman for the Foreign Office said the ministry was taking these incidents seriously. The ministry changed its advisory on Tuesday. It now includes a reminder that approval through the U.S. ESTA system or holding a U.S. visa does not automatically allow entry in every case. Quote, the final decision on whether a person can enter the U.S. lies with the U.S. border authorities. So basically, if you get the wrong border authority that day, then you can be strip searched, showered, put in a jumpsuit, and sent to a detention center. Even if you're showing a visa. I want to tell you what else has happened as of late. A French professor was coming back to the United States, stopped at the border, I'm assuming in the airport, where the Border Patrol went through their phone, saw that they had been reading an anti-Trump article and said, you can't come in. So they're going through your phones. It is no longer the situation of going through customs and, oh, what were you here for? Business or pleasure? Oh, how long were you gone? Oh, I was gone for 7 days. Oh, that's wonderful. Welcome back. That's what I'm used to. when leaving the country and returning. That's what most people are used to when leaving the country and returning. So, folks, I will tell you this. I'm traveling out of the country next week. I'm absolutely terrified. I am a US citizen, right? Have my blue passport. I am terrified about what is going to happen upon my return. I have no idea what to do, right? You can make your accounts private, you can wipe your phones. But if somebody wants to find some shit on you, they're going to find some shit on you. So these are the things that we all need to understand and be preparing for now. They don't want anyone here. And the funny thing is that even if you are a US citizen, they want the ability to revoke your citizenry if in fact they don't like what you say and they don't like how you think. As I continue to say, they start with the low-hanging fruit first. Those who you can shrug off. Well, they're not citizens, or, they were only naturalized, or they're only a green card holder, or ba, ba, ba. One of the quote unquote uh, Venezuelan gang members that they said that they picked up and rapidly deported out of the country is American. Don't know if they'll ever see their home again, because now they're in some type of for-profit black site that the United States is paying to torture people outside of our country. So all I continue to say is that these things are getting worse, not better. And we need to find ways to stay safe, even though I'm thinking that in this moment, safety is an illusion. And I know that there are people who are naturalized citizens, people who hold green cards that are not leaving the country at all. And I don't know. We will see what happens to me. That's all I can say. I honestly, obviously, I'll keep you posted, or won't. Lastly, before we get to our call to action, which this is kind of part of the call to action today, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is going on the road with Bernie Sanders and other progressive voices inside of the Democratic Party. I love what Bernie Sanders is doing right now. Tim Walz is doing the same thing, taking a page out of Bernie's book and saying, look, these Republicans don't want to hold town halls, then we're going to go into their districts and we're going to hold town halls. And what I appreciate is that Bernie Sanders, like Tim Walz, is a older white man. I mean, Tim Walz is only in his 50s, but Bernie Sanders is in his 80s. But this is white men using their white male privilege to put other people of color on. And that is what Bernie Sanders is doing right now with AOC. Is that he's saying, come along with me. You may not be safe in these parts on your own, but people love me. So I'm going to bring you out on stage too. Right? This is how you use your power and privilege. This is how the establishment Democrats should have been lifting up and supporting the younger voices of color that were elected inside of their party. Better late than fucking never. But Bernie Sanders is doing exactly what the people want. So now Democrats are desperately searching for new leaders. AOC is stepping into the void. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is hitting the road with Bernie Sanders this week as even once skeptical Democrats seek to elevate the progressive star in their fight against Trump. The fact is that the base of the party is Black women and people of color. The newly elected members of the party are young people of color. It has always been the establishment, white moderate Democrats, that have wanted to continue to hold on to their power and silence those voices and slow down their ascension. Bernie Sanders is saying, nah, this is how I'm using my time. I believe that this is AOC. I think it's her moment. I think it's her time. I think that she has been speaking truth to power since she came into office, and she has shown herself to be a fierce politician, a fierce debater and questioner, and somebody who believes, right, in equity and justice for all people. She's smart. She's thorough. She's on fucking point. And so here's my call to action today, which is for those of you who are new to the Danielle Moodie Show, Thursdays are my call to action. So here is my call to action. Call your senators. Call your senators and tell them you want new leadership. Call, if you don't have a Democratic senator, right? Find one's office and call and say, I want new leadership. Chuck Schumer should not be the minority leader in the Senate. Call your representatives in the House. Say, I want new leadership. Hakeem Jeffries, not my leader, not who I want. We need fighters. We need people who are about their business and who are never going to falter in their fight for progress. It is time that our members, all of them, hear from the people. Keep calling, keep emailing, and tell them we want new leadership. Because it is the time is now. We are not going to continue to be fed the round of lies that Chuck Schumer decided to go on a truth junket this week to defend his bullshit caving to Donald Trump. And guess what? A majority of the shows that he went on, the anchors weren't fucking having it. On The View, he was told to his face, I think you caved. On CBS, Gail looked at him and said, people are really mad at you, and rightfully so, because you seem to have played in their faces. So, folks, call, get on the phone, and say you want new leadership. And if you're calling your representative, say you want AOC. If you're calling your senator, say, I want Bernie Sanders. I want a progressive. Because again, I'm not an ageist. When I talk about people with old ideas, right? That's what I'm talking about, old ideas. But if you are somebody in your 80s, but you are still thinking broad, expansive, and fresh and of the moment and know what you don't know, then you are still 100 in my book. You are still good to go. But if you are of the Chuck Schumers and the Nancy Pelosi's and the hurry up and waits, If you are the white moderate that Martin Luther King warned us about, then you got to go. We don't need any more stumbling blocks on the way to justice. We need arc benders. We need people who are going to put in the work, not to wait for the arc to bend, but for those that are working to bend the arc towards justice and not giving us crumbs and telling us that that is enough to subsist on. We're tired of fucking waiting. So my call to action this week is call your representatives and keep calling and keep emailing and organize phone chains and keep getting the message out. And if they are holding town halls, you show the fuck up. Even though there are Republican town halls that are being held and they're not allowing Democrats and independents in because apparently they only represent Republicans. You show up any fucking way. We need mass organization. We need mass protests. We need continued mass boycotting. And what we need is also mass leadership. Not just one person, but a collection of members of the House and the Senate that are willing to be arc benders. And if that is not your representative, if that is not your senator, call them and tell them, get the fuck out of the way. Because time is up. All right, my friends, that is it for me today on the Danielle Moodie Show. Again, if you are new here, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We are trying to feed the fairies and the algorithm to get this show, this channel, in more people's streams. Click the little bell button and make sure that you never miss a show. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share. As well, I want to thank so much Kim Gray for your generous $99.99 donation today. As I say, this is independent media. Every single dollar, every single cent is deeply appreciated and goes to helping me create the kind of platform and content that you all deserve. And so that generous donation and any donation goes a long, long way. Thank you all so very much. And as a reminder, TDMS, the Danielle Moodie Show, TDMS Weekends starts this weekend. They will not be live shows, but they will be videos that go up on Friday and Saturday. So make sure that you check those out and you share. As always, dear friends, power to the people and to all the people power. Get woke, stay woke. Stay sane, and in these extraordinarily dangerous times, dear friends, do stay safe. I will see you back here. Oh, other breaking news. Tomorrow, Democracy-ish will be at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, Democracy-ish at 1 p.m. Eastern. We will be live. We had to do a little schedule change because Waj and I are juggling a lot, but we will be live tomorrow, but at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll make sure to put a post up on the page to remind you all. All right. Be well. See you tomorrow.